Hello and welcome to the Octagon and Westlands quiz night. So tonight we've got a night at the theatre, Act 2, because the keen-eyed amongst you may remember that our first quiz was a night at the theatre. So this is our second round. And tonight I am joined by the Gordon Cooper.
Da, 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 da. Hello, it's me, look what I did. Look, this is the nearest I'm going to get to a theatre anytime soon. Do you like it? Do you like my hat?
Looks like you're about to do a Punch and Judy show there.
Listen, it's coming to that. I'm getting so desperate. Just desperate to do a show.
Get on the beaches. Get on the beaches of Weston-super-Mare.
And look, I actified myself up. My wife said I was to make sure to let you guys know that I don't usually dress like this.
I'm disappointed.
No. I take the disappoint you, Catherine, but I put the old cravat on, and I've got,
Well, a nice glass of apple.
Cheers. Not apple juice. How dare you? Apple juice. How are we all doing?
I hope you attend Tesco's and Morrison's in this attire as well, please.
At all times, I do everything I can. Now that I'm allowed out, I've got a cane and a fedora. I've got a big swishy scarf. Oh, yeah.
A little pocket watch as well, which you can just...
Yeah, and I'm followed by a small wooden boy.
Oh, dear. And we're off. Hey. So hello, everyone. Say hello to us in the comments. Let us know your team names. I see we've got Lockdown Goes Wrong ready. We've got Book of Moron as well. Very interesting. Hope you do well. Who else? We've got hello from Dorchester. So, let us know how you're getting on in comments as we go along this evening.
Oh, and I've got Grandmoo says, yeah, you do. All right, Grandmoo, that's my mother-in-law. All right, I do not dress like this,
From all events from now on, in this attire, please.
Right, okay. We're doing this news night we've just discussed.
Yep. Careful not to flash the answers as well. So on today's news night, obviously the theme is theatre, so we're going to be testing your theatrical knowledge. There's 50 questions in total. You should already have received the picture round, so get submitting or typing in your answers for the picture round on the online answer form. And then we're going to kick off with round 2. We'll go through all 5 rounds, and then at the end, we'll give you time to submit your answers, and then we will read through the answers. So,
it's as if we've done this before. It's as if we've got a plan.
Well, you'd like to think so.
Never let it be said. It's all off the cuff. Let's keep it fresh, improv.
You look like you're about to start mixing as well. A DJ wedding planner thing I'm getting on. I'm getting good vibes. A new career maybe, Gordon.
I know. See, I don't think they'd want Neil Diamond and just it all gets Neil Diamond and Barry Manilow tunes.
Get some ABBA in there. Can't go wrong. Oh, right. So I suppose we better go on with the quiz. Round 2 tonight is Name the Playwright.
Now, you understand? I do understand why you've got me this evening, because I'm the classy one, eh? I'm the classically, I bring a bit of gravitas and quality to the proceedings.
Quality.
That your Jack Glanvilles and your Tom Fords, and Kath, they just, it's all a bit fluffy, isn't it? Here, this is the heavyweight. Especially
You've got the knowledge, the finesse.
Heavyweight after 16 weeks of lockdown, particularly heavyweight, but that's another story.
Oh, you're Gordon. If you go back through these quizzes, you'll just see us gradually gaining more around the sides.
Just getting the winter padding on, just getting ready for winter. It's all right.
Don't need to worry about that bikini body anymore, do we?
Well, I never forget my bikini body. I'm always bikini ready.
Summer's over, kids. Right, moving on to winter. Winter is coming. Anyway, round two. So your first question for round two, which is name the playwright, is which British playwright wrote Metamorphosis? So that's question one. Which
also an actor? Yeah.
Yeah, correct. Which British playwright wrote Metamorphosis? Now, I studied this play in my GCSE drama.
And how was that?
Well, I can say, you know, I got an A star in acting as a Beatle. So there we go. What more do you need from life?
This playwright, when I was at drama school, he was doing a play at the theatre across the road, at the Theatre Royal in Glasgow, and he came in to give us a Q&A, and I mean, he was fascinating, but it was incredibly sweary. That was my memory of him. Incredibly sweary, very, very wise, but very sweary.
A bit Adele-esque then, maybe.
Yes, yeah. Passionate and sweary.
We've got the Devon Air Dames ready with wine. They add.
Oh, is that the McCormicks by any chance? I wonder if that's the McCormick family.
I think it's, I think that's your a relative of yours. We've got You're Acquitted, Harry. They're ready. And Les Quizerables.
I see what you've done there.
Yeah.
Very good,
right.
Very good.
Question number two. Which playwright wrote The Importance of Being Earnest?
I've never been asked to do any of this gentleman's plays. It's not really my... I wouldn't say it's my particular casting. That'd be quite an alternative version. Well, I don't... Oh, a handbag!
A handbag?
Drink with handbag?
There we go. Pinky raised.
I could do it.
Right, so that's question number two again. Which playwright wrote The Importance of Being Earnest? Someone's asking in the comments, is that shelf safe behind you?
Is that shelf space? Shelf safe? Yeah, well, I mean, it's not fallen down. Well, it has fallen down once, and I did put it up, so it's probably not safe. But we had lots of books and things on it, so now we've just got a Riverford box, because we're a healthy family, scales and our plant. So yes, I hope so. I hope it's not going to fall again.
That's true technician engineering, that.
That's me.
It'll do the job, but don't trust it.
Don't trust it. It'll do the job, but don't trust it. I mean, I wouldn't walk underneath it, but it'll do the job.
So, question number three is which playwright wrote A Raisin in the Sun? I think I'm saying that correctly.
Raisin in the Sun. A show I've never seen. I think it's done in America more often than it's done here, I think.
So that's number three again. Which playwright wrote A Raisin in the Sun?
It's highbrow stuff tonight.
Absolutely. I wrote these questions, Gordon. You'd expect nothing less from me, surely.
I mean, it's clearly not an Adam Bergen script.
Hi, if you're watching, Adam. Through. Hi, Adam.
And how many did he get right?
Before he changed it, he got 2 out of 10. So good luck, everyone.
Then he stuck some Disney in, and we were laughing.
Adam is a big fan of Disney, for those of you who don't know. Big fan. Right, so question number 4. Which playwright wrote the play Cleansed?
Not an easy watch, this play.
All of her works are quite...
hardcore.
Yes, that's the word for it. Yeah,
pretty full on, yeah.
Now, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, I'd say I'm 80% sure, she went to the same university as me. Obviously not in the same year, but...
Which university was that?
University of Birmingham. Birmingham?
Does anybody want any toast? Sorry, that's I don't know why. Toast, it's a great night to say the Birmingham accent.
That was brilliant.
Ooh,
Well done.
right. So
number 4 again.
I apologise to any Brummies out there.
Which playwright wrote the play Cleansed?
I mean, that's a toughie. Anybody else on the socials?
Someone's saying, please don't do the Birmingham accent again. Please.
Oh, who said? Sorry. But I'm glad you recognise it as a Birmingham accent. That makes me slightly happy.
Not the fact that you announced it was Birmingham accent.
Listen, that's the way all the finest impressionists do it. I remember, what was his name? Impressionist from the Mike Yarwood. That's what he used to do. He'd shout the person's name out before he does it. Frank Spencer. Joe Longthorne would do it as well. Tom Jones.
Well, there you go. There's the trick, guys and girls.
That's it.
So number 5 is which playwright wrote Pygmalion? This was famously turned into a musical, My Fair Lady. For those of you who don't know. So that's which playwright wrote Pygmalion?
Do you know what? I've seen the musical, but I've never actually seen a production of Pygmalion.
I think it's very similar to the musical, actually.
Yeah, it's just a direct. Yeah, and is it better for it? I mean, is it better for it?
I do love a play. I do.
I love a play. I love going to the theatre. When can we go to the theatre again? When can we be in a play again? I miss it so much.
Please let us in.
Please let us in. We'll be good. We'll stay away from each other.
So number 6, which playwright wrote Angels in America? Very good play, this. Very good.
Very long.
Very moving and long. I think it's done in 2 parts usually.
It was done at the National, a couple of years ago. With a pretty all-star cast, and I didn't get to see. It was one of those you couldn't get a ticket for love nor money. But by all accounts, just a tremendous piece of theatre, just a fantastic production of a wonderful play.
We just need them to put it up on their National Theatre at Home collection now.
Have you watched many of those?
I have been, actually. That's something that I've kept to during lockdown. I think there's only about 2 or 3 that I've missed. But I've caught the recent one, and I forget the actress's name, the lady who plays the mum in Peaky Blinders.
Helen McCrory, yes.
That's it, in the Deep Blue Sea or Deep Blue, something like that.
Deep Blue Sea, yeah.
Yeah, very good, very good. Very easy story to follow as well.
Yeah, Terence Rattigan, some of those plays, they're they could be very much of their time, but actually the stuff that they're talking about and they deal with is always feels very, current. It's sign of a good writer. But great stuff, Terence Rattigan's.
And I caught Jane Eyre as well, which was the second one. And then you talked to the leading actress, didn't you, in your podcast? In the podcast,
Madeline Worrell. She's a wonderful actress. I worked with her many years ago at Chichester. We did a musical at Chichester, a 500 musical. But she, in this production of Jane Eyre, for those who haven't seen it, it's fascinating. It's directed by a lady called Sally Cookson, who they take the book and they know the story, but there's no script as to speak of at the start rehearsals, and it's all devised. And Sally is responsible for some wonderful productions. There's a wonderful production of A Monster Calls, which was at the Old Vic.
Yeah.
She did a terrific production of Peter Pan. If any of you have seen Stickman, the kids' show, that was one of Sally's first big shows. And the idea is that everything it's really theatrical. You hold up you hold up something to represent whatever. You have to use your imagination. I'm selling these shows really badly, but you really have to use your imagination with her stuff. Very, very creative, very, very theatrical. A lot of physical stuff. If you get the chance to see the Jane Eyre, I'm not sure, it's probably off YouTube now, is it?
Yeah, it's come off YouTube now, but they might show it again, or
they might send them around
as well.
Yeah. It's just wonderful stuff.
I would recommend it, actually. I think that's the best production of Jane Eyre that, obviously I didn't get to see it in person, but best production of Jane Eyre that I've ever seen, in that it actually follows the story and really explains the story as well, and you get to know it a lot more than some other productions who, cutting out bits to try and fit it in a certain amount of time. So
she's very particular. She's wonderful at telling a story, Sally, when she puts something together. It's really tremendous. If you ever get the chance to see any of the stuff that she's directed, go and see a Sally Cookson show. They're wonderful.
Definitely. So number 6 again was which playwright wrote Angels in America? And number 7 is which playwright wrote Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? That's number 7. Which playwright wrote Cat on a Hot Tin Roof?
More classics. This writer, some of his plays he's written some wonderful female characters, and very much My Dame is very much based on some of the female characters in his plays. Strong yet tragic, verging on the edge of something, very attractive, very sought after, very dangerous, very much like I think Widow Twankey was, and who did I play last year?
Nurse Nellie. There you
go. Nurse Nellie. I was going to say Dame Dolly, but that was years ago. Yeah, Nurse Nellie. Very much, very much like a character written by this writer. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Boys.
Wouldn't you agree? Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you as a person of who knows our theatre, you'd agree, wouldn't you?
A very strong female character, absolutely.
Yeah, good. It's very much what I'm going for. Yeah.
Right. So moving on, number 8. Which playwright wrote A Very Expensive Poison? So this was recently shown. Was it at the Old Vic or New Vic in London?
Oh, do you know what? I don't know.
I've got a feeling it was the Old Vic, but received some really wonderful reviews as well. Very strong play.
Has this been? This one hasn't been online during the lockdown, has it? From any of the Old
I don't think so. No, I don't believe this one's been online yet.
What we did do the other night is we watched the production of Lungs from the Old Vic.
With Claire Foy and
Matt Smith.
There we go. Yeah.
Really, really terrific. My wife worked in a production of it a few years ago for a theatre company called Payne's Plough, and I loved that version of it. And this was also terrific. Hopefully that will come round again. But what was great about that was they actually did it live. You would watch it every night. It was in front of it was done live in the Old Vic for an online audience. It was great. Really
and you
great.
Paid it. They had a limited capacity on the online audience, and you paid like a ticket in effect, didn't you? To check that out.
Yeah. So the more money you had, the idea what they wanted was, the more you could afford. Obviously, they wanted you to pay the more expensive seats. But I guess everybody got the same feed. I don't think they said, well, you've only paid a £10 seat, so you're only going to get half. You're getting
a view from high up in the auditorium. Terence is asking, is it still online? And I don't believe it is, because they're doing the performance live, weren't they?
Yes, we were. I think it'll probably, at some point, I wouldn't be surprised. I imagine it was very, very successful. I wouldn't be surprised if it became an NT live show, and just in the repertoire of that, So they've
definitely got a recording of it, so I'm sure it will be going out.
And Claire Foy, I've never watched The Crown. I know that's what she's from. Matt Smith was wonderful. Claire Foy was absolutely breathtaking in it. Just wonderful. The whole it's a great play and very worth watching for her performance. Tremendous. Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her in The Crown, and she is incredible in that. Yeah. She really does she plays the Queen in her younger days.
Yeah.
And she does an incredible job. And I've seen her in some other things as well. And she is a very, very talented actress.
Yeah. Definitely. No, she was wonderful. I would definitely, having seen her in that, I would seek out stuff that she was in to watch. it was a name I'd heard, but I didn't really know. I thought she was absolutely fabulous. Absolutely.
Get her on your podcast.
Listen, if I can, I will, absolutely.
So number 9 is which playwright wrote Top Girls? Classic. Absolute
classic.
And if you didn't perform this at GCSE drama or whenever, did you even do GCSE drama? That's the question.
That's it. Well, there was no parts in Top Girls for me, I seem to remember. Isn't it a fairly heavy female cast?
Heavily female class, but it was one that was often...
that Top Girls, Bouncers, what's the other one? There's another, Shakers. You know Shakers? Which is the partner piece to Bouncers. But for listening, maybe...
No, I didn't do that one, actually. I mean, I did quite often play, a soldier in the war.
Listen, I watched the production. I watched the production of Othello the other night on telly, and it was lots of ladies playing very domineering soldiers. It was great. So I'm sure you were wonderful. Sure you're wonderful. Did that sound patronising? I didn't mean it to.
Maybe I'll revive it one day.
Your one-woman show at the Octagon.
We could do an outdoor performance of it, just for you.
Just be you and me sitting watching it.
So number 9 again is which playwright wrote Top Girls? And question number 10, the final question of the round, is which playwright wrote Mother Courage and Her Children? Have you ever seen a production of Mother Courage?
No, I haven't. I love this writer's writing. I've seen an awful lot of plays that he's written, but I've never seen a production of this.
I think Deborah Warner and Fiona Shaw once did a production of this, and they famously Deborah Warner is quite a famous director and very talented director, and Fiona Shaw also, she's been in loads of things, hasn't she? Very talented
absolutely.
Actor. They quite regularly work together on productions as well, more often than not. But yes. So yeah, there we go. That is round 2, and I'll very quickly run through the questions again for you. So question number 1 was which British playwright wrote Metamorphosis? Question number 2, which playwright wrote The Importance of Being Earnest? Question number 3, which playwright wrote A Raisin in the Sun? Question number 4, which playwright wrote Cleansed? Question number 5, which playwright wrote Pygmalion? Question number 6 was which playwright wrote Angels in America? Number 7 was which playwright wrote Cat in a Hot Tin Roof? Number 8 was which playwright wrote A Very Expensive Poison? Number 9, which playwright wrote Top Girls? And number 10, which playwright wrote Mother Courage and Her Children?
Angie Golding has just said that was a terrible round for us. Playwrights are not our strong point. Angie, there'll be something coming up for you in a minute. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, we've got quotes coming up next and then missing lyrics. So hopefully there's something in there for you as well. So yeah, let us know how you got on with that round. What did you find easy, hard, etc.? Let us know. So far, easier than last week. Last week was quite a hard round, yeah.
Was it? What was it like? What did you start with last week? Do you remember?
I think we had just had a general music round, and then we had a cover song round, and that, in who sung the original. That was particularly tricky.
And did Jack sing? Did he sing any of them?
A little. He did a little. He
got
also
a lovely voice, Jack.
He's got a lovely West Country voice, and he did, give us a little twang.
Oh, he loves it. He loves it.
So there we go.
Right, so should we crack on with round 3?
Let's crack on, absolutely.
So round 3 is a famous quote round. So I'm going to give you quotes from some shows, plays. I think there's a couple from movies. And what we want you to do is to tell us which show or movie that the quote comes from. And actually, if you can be more specific, I don't think you get any more points. If you can tell us the character that speaks the quote, then we'll respect you even more.
We'll give you a
more
silent round of applause when we mark the answer forms. But
absolutely.
Exactly.
Okay, so here we go. So number one, where does this quote come from? Here's the quote. Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. Not usually delivered in a Scottish accent.
I quite like it.
My son, who is 3, loves this particular. Well, can we say what it's from? It is a show, but it's also a movie. Can we say that? Can we say that?
Yeah, we can say that. Absolutely.
Say that. So the quote is, "Feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long." So what does that come from?
Funnily enough, Gordon, Kat, our producer, was saying before we started the quiz, she was like, I don't know how tonight's going to go because Gordon's given away some answers in previous quizzes and you did as well. I did as well last week. I gave away some answers. She was like, don't know how today's going to go. I
mean, we could just tell everybody and we could just carry on, just have a nice chat and everybody could get 100%.
100%. There we go. And it'll all be down to the tiebreaker question.
Listen, it's very tricky, this, isn't it? It's very tricky. People think it's just sitting here reading bits of paper, but it's not. It's very tricky. It's reading bits of paper, chatting to people and drinking.
And you've got the answers right in front of you, so it's already in your head.
Exactly. It falls out your mouth.
It does.
So number two, where does this quote come from? We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Not from Coronation Street or Twilight. I don't know why I picked on Twilight. I've never seen Twilight. So here we go again. Number two, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. So, you can tell us where that comes from.
Lisa has said in the comments that she doesn't mind if we give a few answers away tonight. But Lisa, just listen carefully because who knows? Listen,
Lisa, it's just, it's entirely possible. Entirely possible. Okay. So number three. In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Do you get that one? In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Not every job. Not every job. Scrubbing the toilet, not masses of fun. What else? I mean, yeah, I can probably find fun in most things, but yeah, things like that. What else? Cleaning a pooey nappy, not a lot of fun.
Anything.
Homeschooling my child, no.
But not enjoyable.
I listen. My hat is off to teachers. I can't wait for September.
Worst part of your job in the theatre, then?
Oh gosh. When I'm on stage or when I'm doing the other job backstage, because I have both jobs.
You do. It's quite right.
On stage, what's the worst? You know what? I'm on stage, I'm quite. In fact, what's the worst? It's all right, actually. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got to think that we're not digging coal. We're not. We're not sweeping the street. What we're doing is we're very, very lucky to be able to do.
Absolutely.
I suppose I reserve the right to have a moan about it at times, but really I'm not going to sit here and moan about how hard it is to put on a bit of slap and jump about and have people clap for me. I mean, I'm not really going to complain about that too much.
Okay, best bit of the job then, Gordon. Best bit of performing.
Putting on a bit of slap and jump about and people clapping for me.
Cheering your name.
The adulation is what I go for most. Yes. There's people making me feel better about myself.
Absolutely.
It's a great job. It's a great job. The best bit is getting to do it as an actor. The best bit is getting to do it. The worst bit about it is not getting to do it and so obviously at the moment it's particularly hard across the board. You know, there are lots of us who are like, most actors have a career that's kind of, you know, peaks and troughs. But even the actors at the moment who work constantly, are always busy, always on stage, even they're feeling the strain of not being able to do it. So that's the worst bit, not being able to do it.
Yeah. Someone, I think one of your relatives again in the comments has said, putting on tights with a broken arm.
Aye, well, no, yeah, that was my sister-in-law. Yeah, I was still all right, to be honest. I'd have been much sadder had the broken arm prevented me from putting the tights on. Yeah. I mean, we had a wonderful wardrobe mistress on Aladdin when I broke my arm. She was fantastic, and she was very, very helpful. She helped me through those few shows with a broken arm. But yeah, it would have been worse. Not doing the show would have been far worse than doing the show with a broken arm.
So those of you who don't know, Gordon very famously broke his arm in the slosh scene during the Aladdin pantomime.
Yeah, that was fun.
One of your finest moments, absolute comedy gold, really, and you carried on as a true showman. Well,
I finished that show, and then it was New Year's Eve, and I was going out. And I drove back to Exeter, not realising I'd broken my arm. Went out, had a couple of drinks, got up the next day, and thought, oh, that's quite sore. Tried to drive my car, couldn't change gear. My lovely mother-in-law, who's with us online tonight, it sort of said, you really should go and get it checked. And they told me, I went and got an x-ray, they told me it wasn't broken. So I came back the following day, did the first show, and then the hospital phoned me and said, we've looked again, you have broken your arm, you'll have to come and get a plaster cast on. I said, well, I can't, I went to a show, so I did that show with a broken arm and got the plaster cast that night, and I think we had 5 shows left or something. So yeah, it's all fine. It's only a broken arm.
Bit of inside knowledge for you all.
There you go. There you go. That's it. That's what we go through. That's what we go through.
Anyway, where were we?
Where did we get to? Oh, right. Here's a cracker. Number 4. To be or not to be? That is the question. Or I once saw a clip of Leonard Nimoy, Mr. Spock, doing this, and I believe his line was, to be or not to be, that is illogical, Captain. So, but do you know what play what play's a movie of it, but where that comes from?
That's not a question to me. That's a question to you at home. Am I right?
Yes. Not to you. To be or not to be, that is the question. Yes, we could give them all the answers. It's easy for us. This one I didn't know. Oh, sorry, carry on, sorry.
There's no extra points for telling us who said that line, to be or not to be, but we will give you a silent round of applause. If you get the title, you should get who says it, ultimately.
Yeah, hopefully you can work it out. Number 5. Where's this from? Most everyone's mad here. Do that again. Most everyone's mad here.
That's classic.
Yeah. Yes. So it's a classic book and film and play, and I think there's a musical of it. That was number 5. What's the next one? Yeah, because when I was reading these through, I thought they were all from plays, but I'm going to give you a clue. This next one is not from a play.
Good clue.
Number 6. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends. Wise words delivered by a very wise individual. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends. There's loads of people who are going, got it.
Yeah.
So many people, yeah.
Big fans of this one, I'm sure.
Big fans. But this is very specific, though. We have to be very specific with the answer here, don't we?
Yeah. We want the name of the book or film, not to give it away too much, but we do want the full title, as it were.
The whole thing. And you have options, so get it right. And this one, is something I just watched. I'd never seen number 7. I'd never seen this before, but I watched it the other week with the kids, and it's fantastic. So anyway, so number 7 is, if you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead. Just think about that, folks. Just think about that. If you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead.
I feel like with all these quotes, there's something that you'd walk into, like your neighbour's living room, and you'd see it on the wall.
Yeah.
Like live, laugh, love, or something like
Live,
that.
laugh,
One of those quotes.
Live, laugh, love.
Very deep quotes.
There's a cafe near where we live when we go up, and that's just lots of, but not painting the wall, but lots of little signs and frames with all of these little bon mots all over the place. I think they changed them. I think they update them every now and again. Sometimes.
Yeah, very deep sayings.
Trying to learn some life lessons.
Yes.
So that was number 7. Oh, number 8. Right, ready? Ready for that? I'm going to give you number 8. You ready for this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Holding on to my seat.
Ready? You can't handle the truth. Hey.
You've got the part.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I enjoyed that. I'm going to do that one again. You can't handle the truth. And there's an edge to the edge, the gruff edge.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
There we go. If you can't get it from that, there we are.
And that's beautiful. Okay, so that was number 8. Give you a bit more time. Number 9. Oh, I love this. A small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. If you know what this is, I hope you've all seen it. If you haven't, when we tell you the answer, you must seek it out. There's a film of it. It's just a wonderful, wonderful thing. The line is, a small man can be just as exhausted as a great man.
Absolutely fantastic play, this one. Also, it's been done as a film, I believe, as well. So
yeah, just tremendous. Just yeah. So I think I saw the film.
Very moving as well. Again.
Very, very moving. Very moving. Yeah. Very sad. Very sad. But yes, we'll tell you later on what it is, and you can all check it out and cry.
And cry.
And cry. It's from the Octagon Theatre's production of Dick Whittington. Number 10. Here we go. Here's number 10. I don't understand why I'm not dead. When your heart breaks, you should die. Who picked these?
What a nice thought to end on.
Sorry, folks. You're tuning in tonight for a bit of light fun. Catherine's arranged a list of questions that we're all going to sit to. Hope nobody's drinking gin.
Yeah.
If anybody's drinking gin, it's over. Floods buckets of tears.
Get the tissues, quick.
Get the tissue. Here it is again, number 10. I don't understand why I'm not dead. When your heart breaks, you should die.
Deep stuff. Very deep stuff.
Very deep stuff.
I actually wouldn't want to see that on a cafe wall. Don't think that's quite the right message.
But you know what? If that cafe decides that that's a good choice, I kind of want to go and drink in that cafe.
Yeah.
Just because they don't care. Yeah, I love it. That's a cafe
very, very good play.
That's where you go and think.
That's where you sit with your mug of coffee at midnight, contemplating life.
With some Tom Waits playing in the background. Sounds nice, that actually. Sounds good. I quite fancy that. I'd love to go to a cafe at midnight. Let's go. Let's go.
Right, number 4, round 4 is missing lyrics round. Oh, yeah. Do you want to read through them again?
Well, shall I just quickly...
I'd love a rendition of them again. Yes, please.
I'll whip back through them. Number 1, feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. That's number 1. What's that from? Number 2, we are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. Okay. Number 3, in every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Get that? I mean, I don't know why I've never played that part. Or this, to be or not to be, that is the question. Or that is the question. Or that is the question. Or that is the question. Make a choice.
Open to interpretation there.
Open to interpretation. Number 5, most everyone's mad here. Number 6, it takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends. Number 7, if you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead. Number 8, you can't handle the truth. It can only be said like that at any point.
Absolutely.
Number 9, a small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. And number 10, the jolly one, I don't understand why I'm not dead. When your heart breaks, you should die. You all still with us? You all still with us for round 4?
Always sounds so much better. Death always sounds so much better in a Scottish accent. I don't know why. Like when you have to say murder, honestly, it's the best thing.
Well,
I think you said it a couple of times in Snow White. It's just every time just makes you laugh.
The problem is it's taggart. It's people's history with taggart, and that's the thing people get you to say. Go and say it. There's been a murder. People love it. What's it? It's like was it in Ireland? It's power shower. Parshar. My apologies to all my Irish friends.
Just say murder one more time for us then.
I'm not a performing monk. Oh, I am. Yes. I am. Yes.
There we go. Remember your roots.
I'll do it the microphone. There's been a murder.
Sounded like you were right behind me there, Gordon.
You're welcome. I'll leave that. Anyway, round 4. Round 4 is the missing lyrics round. So once again, these are all from musicals.
They are indeed.
So I'll give you the first half of the line, and then you've got to give me the second half of the line. Okay, here we go. I dreamed a dream of time gone by, when hope was high and life worth. I've given you more of it than you should have had, because I got carried away. I was meant to stop after when hope was high and. But it's okay. It's okay. That's all right, isn't it, Katherine?
We told you, Lisa, we'd be there. You just had to give us a bit of time.
All you've got to do, essentially you've got one word to find, Lisa. One word. We can't do more for you than that.
We want blank, blank, blank.
Blank, blank, blank.
And the first 2 blanks are life worth. Life
worth, yeah. I dreamed a dream of time gone by when hope was high and.
There we are.
And do we want them to tell us what it's from as well?
If no extra points? There's no extra points. Right, okay.
So I wouldn't bother then, folks. If you're not getting any extra points, don't bother. If you get the answer right, great. Because if you don't get the song lyrics right, but you get the name of the show, no points. If you get the words right and the name of the show, no extra points. So why bother? Why bother?
Just our own personal congratulations and
this silent round of applause you keep talking about. I'm not convinced it's worth it. But
you can't hear it, but did it happen?
Did it happen? If a tree falls in the wood and there's no wood. Okay, here we go. Number 2. Think of me. Think of me fondly when we've
Nice.
Yeah. You've got to get these folks. Come on. Think of me fondly when we've and then this is a problem with this one, because you do want to sing, carry on. It feels, certainly with this one.
You'll have your moment. You'll have your moment in a minute where we do the answers, Gordon.
Right, yes, come on. Number 3. When you know the notes to sing, you can sing.
Mary Smith is asking in the comments, does she get a point for wrong but more entertaining answers? And I'm afraid not, Sarah, not today,
but again, Sarah, actually, I would like to hear those.
Put them in the comments.
Put them in the comments. I mean, keep them clean. But, keep them clean. But yes, please. Here we go. Number 4. A crash of drums, a flash of light. Oh, right. Oh, sorry. Oh, they've split this. This is the 2 words in the middle of it. A crash of drums, a flash of light, my something flew out of sight. I did this show many years ago for 6 months. 6 months of my life that I shall never get back.
As a performer or technician? As
a performer. I was in this show. I was in the national tour of this show for 6 months. And I had a wonderful time, but it's some of the hardest work I've ever done in terms of just the amount of shows we did. But it was great. But I still slightly when I hear some of these songs. It takes me back. A crash of drums. Go on.
Can you give us, without giving the answer away, can you tell us who your character was? Which part you played?
I played 2 featured roles. I played the baker and a young, hairy, chunky chap in a sheepskin waistcoat called Naphtali. That helps talk. Yes. Yeah. A crash of drums, a flash of light. My something flew out of sight. Number 5. Well, you get this one. For, after some consideration, we can state, consider yourself something. It's a show I've always wanted to do. I did this as a kid, but I've never done this show professionally.
It's a great show. You fit in well in this show.
Well, I would have thought so. I could have. Please, sir, can I have some more? I mean, you can see it, can't you?
Yeah, definitely the right age for that role.
Bang on. Any casting directors watching? Okay, so that was it. For after some consideration, we can state, consider yourself something. Number 6. That's good. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves something. Featured a couple of years ago it's featured in the Octagon panto a couple of years ago by the wonderful Lizzie Francis, being fabulous.
As usual, her fabulous self.
Her fabulous self. So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves something. Yeah.
There we go.
There we
Have you ever performed or text for this production before?
No, I've never. No, I saw it. I finally saw it. My friend Ashley Gray played the title character in the tour a few years ago, and I went to see it. It was tremendous. Quite something to see. Yeah. I enjoyed it very much. No surprise, it's the massive hit it is. Okay, number 7. This I don't. Funnily enough, I don't know this song very well, but I have spoken to a couple of the stars of the show on my podcast, Taking Turns to Talk, available from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast fun.
Ding!
So here we go. Number 7. I'm not my something something. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. So that's a trickier one, I think. That's less well known, but if you know your musicals, you probably know this. I'm not my something something. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of.
We recently had a screening of this production at Westlands for those of you who may know. It was only at the weekend, so there we go.
And have you got more of these? You've got more of these happening, haven't you? You're going to Westlands has been.
We have.
You guys are open full time now, aren't you? At Westlands.
Yes.
Movies.
So Westlands is open 7 days a week. We're doing 3 screenings a day, and we've got a Fright Night screening on Friday as well, with our first one next week. And I think
a Fright Night screening.
Fright Night screening. I believe that starts at 10 p.m. And that will be The Invisible Man as of next Friday. So yeah.
The recent Invisible Man movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard it's fantastic. I haven't seen it yet. I love her. Elizabeth Moss, I love her. She's wonderful.
So yeah, you'll be walking back or driving back in the dark.
Aye, totally. Aye.
After watching that. Not faint-hearted, maybe.
Aye, all the best.
But yeah. No, it is great to be open here at Westlands again and inviting in the audience. And everyone who's been in has said, you know, how different the venue is, but how safe they feel, and also how pleased they are to be coming back out. And we were only telling you before we started, weren't we, that the theatre screenings that we're showing seem to be the most popular as well over the feature films. And, you know, that's just testament of people's love of theatre, really.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, no, I've watched a few things. I mean, the experience of watching a piece of theatre at the movie, like on screen, is very, very different. But the way they do these things now, you know, the best way to do it would be to watch it on a screen with loads of other people. You know, that's the closest you'll get. You know, so yeah, if you're missing your theatre, go and see those at Westlands, folks. Yeah, we're all missing our theatre.
Yeah, definitely. I think you've hit the nail on the head with that. You know, theatre is something to be enjoyed with other people. Like, you get to the end of the National Theatre ones and I'm there like clapping alone in my living room, and it's just not quite the same.
It's not the same. It's not the same. No. Oh, funnily enough, I did just that with the next question. I did that the other day. I sat and watched it in my room and loved it. First time I'd seen it, I loved it. But I wish I'd been like in the room where it happened.
Absolutely, you know? Same. So number 8 is the world's going to know your name. What's your name, man? So name the song, and if you know the show, well, if you know the name of the name of the show, you'll get who sang. Yeah.
Anyway, that was cracking. That was really terrific. I thought I'd like this particular show, but I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was quite special. And again, if you listen to the podcast, one of its stars from the London production of this show was my last guest on the podcast.
And a very good podcast as well. And very talented actor. I can't wait when we get round to the question answer round. We tell the answers, we can talk more about this, because very, very talented actor.
Very good.
And he did an incredible job in that production. It just brought an element of comedy to it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it in London. I haven't seen it in London as yet. Unfortunately, he's gone. But actually, the chap playing that part in that show has also been on our podcast. So you could listen to him talk about that, John Robbins. Anyway, carry on. Number 9. This is just an excuse to plug my podcast. Please listen. Yeah. Please, everybody, listen. Number 9. This is a great show. Good morning, something. Every day is like an open door. Good morning, something. Every day is like an open door. This is a joyful show.
Absolutely. Someone's just asking in the comments, where's the blank for number 8? So it would be, the world's going to know your name. What's your name, man? Blank, yes. Blank.
There you go. Yes.
There we go.
And that's not on the sheet.
Not even in the sheet. So there we go.
Yeah. The world's going to know your name. What's your name, man? Blank, blank. Yes. Okay, number 10. Number 10. An oldie but a goodie. Here we go. You'll all get this. I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm blank. Blank. I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm blank. Blank. The answer is not sitting in the fridge. I got chills. They're multiplying. And I'm blank, blank.
There we go.
Here we go.
Come on, guys. You've got to know that one.
Don't know that. I'll be so disappointed if you don't get that, folks.
Absolutely. We'll be round your house, knocking on your door, explaining why. So Sarah said, sing by Jonathan Gordon's podcast. Don't get Stevie Wonder. Well, like there's a story there.
Oh, and do you know, hang on, but listen, you've got to remember, I've not listened to them back. You know, I've been doing it for 3 years. We had Alexandra Burke on? I think because Alexandra ended up having a meeting with Stevie Wonder at some point, which I can't remember the whole story. But if you listen to the episode of the podcast, Taking Turns to Talk with Alexandra Burke, you can hear that story. I think that's what Sarah's talking about.
This is one of my questions to you when I was thinking about what we could talk to in between each round. And my question was, how do you get in contact with all these famouses and get them on your podcast? Because you've had Alexandra Burke recently, you've also had Kevin Clifton from Strictly From Dancing, haven't you? And loads more. But
Michael Ball was on. It's kind of contacts in the business, really. So some of the people, myself or my friend, my partner in podcasting, Chris, who's a producer, he has either worked with or we have a link to. Kevin Clifton, however, was a fan of the podcast. So Kevin just got in touch, tweeted us to say that he liked the podcast, and we thought, well, do you want to be a guest? And we knew that because the idea is it's taking turns, so it's anybody that's a theatrical performer. We've had a lot of musical theatre people involved, but we've obviously had kind of people who are more known for straight acting and things. But Kevin, very much, super dancer, renowned ballroom dancer, Latin American dancer, and he's now making his steps into becoming a musical theatre performer with. He was in The Wedding Singer, and I think the first show he did was Rock of Ages. He did the tour of Rock of Ages. And as he talked about in the podcast, he's hoping, the plan is for next year, he's going to go into the West End. Is it touring in the West End? I can't remember now, I have to check the podcast. Doing Strictly Ballroom. He's going to play the lead character Scott in Strictly Ballroom, which apparently is his dream theatre job. If they ever do that show, because it would encompass his love of musical theatre, but also plays right into his strengths of Latin American ballroom dancing. And he was just a treat. He was a lovely fella. I'd never met him before. I texted him to set it up. And then, so the first time I spoke to him properly was on the podcast, and he couldn't have been sweeter. I really love the man. So just kind of contacts. Chris was working on the production of Chess in the West End with Michael Ball and Alexandra Burke. And we asked them and they said they'd do it. Brian Blessed, was in a play with a friend. We asked Brian if he'd do it. He came on and blew us all away.
Absolutely.
With Brian Blessedness for an hour. Just contacts. And actually it's been good. Lockdown's been kind of good because we've thought we had Cillian Donnelly on recently, who's the star of many a recent West End hit. And we just kind of asked him. I knew someone that was friends with him and said, look, I don't suppose you could ask Cillian. And, because they're not doing anything else, now's the time to ask. So, hopefully we'll get another couple of good ones lined up in the not too distant. So,
can you give any games away for the next episode?
No.
Any clues? No.
No,
Okay.
because they're not confirmed yet. So we're just, we've got a couple of people that we're hoping to get. But I don't want to say just in case it doesn't happen. But yeah, it'll be good.
Right, perfect. Right. Do you want to read through the round 4 again, the missing lyrics, and then we'll move on?
Here we go. So number 1, I dreamed a dream of time gone by when hope was high and life worth living. There you go, ask. From Les Mis, I dreamed a dream. Or from
there we
Susan
go.
Boyle.
You've just given the answer
Boyle.
as well, but there we are.
I thought I was given the... Oh, sorry.
No.
We're not doing answers yet. We told you. It's because it's written there.
So if you don't get number 1 right...
But listen, at least I did it, the one that I nearly gave away earlier on. I dreamed the dream of time gone by when hope was high and something. Number 2, think of me fondly when we've... Number 3, when you know the notes to sing, you can sing something.
There we are.
Number 4, a crash of drums, a flash of light, my something flew out of sight. Number 5, for after some consideration we can state, consider yourself something. Number 6, so if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves something. Number 7, I'm not my something. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. Number 8, the world's going to know your name. What's your name, man? Something. Good morning, something. Every day's like an open door. Number 10, I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm something.
You're getting a lot of love in the comments, though, for giving away the answer to number 1.
Come on, you must have got that.
Sarah has said, I think of you fondly. Terence is in agreement with her as well, but there we go. We've also got a question from Sarah. Who would be your dream guest on your podcast?
Oh, Sarah. I don't know. To get Dame Judy or somebody like that, Mr. McKellen, and those kind of people, because we try to keep it theatrical. And obviously, these people who have great theatrical careers do go off and make the big movies. But yeah, those people. Who else? The wonderful, would be amazing to have. Just would be the wonderful Lin-Manuel Miranda, who wrote Hamilton and appeared in, he's written songs for Moana and so many other things. These people, and there are possibilities with these. There are kind of ways in, hopefully, and we've not approached these people just yet, but what we're hoping to do is build up a bit of a following and people get interested. But there are a lot of around the world. These people are busy and a lot of people asking them to do stuff. So, but yeah, that would be great. Brian Blessed was a get. He was a real get.
Absolutely.
He's just a force of nature. But yeah, somebody like that, the biggie classy, classy knights and dames,
Fantastic, perfect. I think, Julie Walters, if you get her, she'd be fantastic. Maggie Smith.
Oh, exactly. Those people, and it's that thing you want to get people who are going to be good value, and just because somebody's done a lot of stuff or is a famous person doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be a terrific guest. Yeah. The best guests, I've people like Brian, who you can almost light the touch paper, and because just because you're a good actor or a successful actor doesn't mean that you're great at interviews. Might be quite shy, quite nervous, and they're quite personal. They're quite, obviously it's just myself and the other person, so you get that, you know, it's quite a, it can be quite a, I suppose hopefully they feel quite safe, but not everybody's up for
having a chat.
You know, and some of them have done where people they've been really, you know, like lots of fun and funny and kind of silly, and there are other ones that have ended up being quite. You know, we talk about some fairly serious topics and try the best ones where you get a nice mixture of both things. But yeah, not everybody's going to be the best guest. But
so who would be who's the best person that you've had on your podcast in terms of what you've just said?
Yeah, well, the problem, Brian Blessed was amazing, but the thing about Brian was it wasn't a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, I turned up with, I'd said to a mutual friend, I'd said, look, I've done my stuff, done my research, I've got a couple of pages. He said, oh, you won't need it. Brian will just talk. I said, yeah, well, of course, but, you know, just in case. He said,
yeah,
no, really, you won't need it. And if you listen to the podcast, it was fairly early on, you can hear me desperately trying to shoehorn in a question. And you know, essentially, Gordon, nobody's really here to listen to you. Shut up, you know?
Yeah.
So that was that. So he was great. The one a few weeks ago with a wonderful actress called Rosalie Craig, Rosie has done an awful lot of great stuff. Probably best known, there was a production of Stephen Sondheim's Company in the West End, where the part of Bobby, which is traditionally played by a guy. Bobby's a guy, but for this production they just changed it and made some other changes. But Bobby was female. And it worked fantastically well. It really brought the thing up to date. She was wonderful and charming and smart and very honest. She was very honest about a few things. We went to, she not opened her heart, but she, to the point, actually said after, she said, I wondered if I'd said slightly too much. I said, well, as long as you're okay to have said it, I think it's fascinating for our listeners to listen to. So that was great. Michael Ball was, God, he was what you would want. I mean, he's massively experienced as an interviewer and as an interviewee, so he knows what people are after.
Yeah.
But he was really fun and a bit indiscreet and cheeky, and he gave us a good hour of just quality chat. So yeah, they were great fun. That's the problem with the podcast is the best thing is the guests are great. I just listen to it back and go, oh, I sound like a chuntering fool. Rather like if I listened back to this.
Absolutely, I'm the same. I'm like, oh my gosh, and suddenly it's always when you listen back to things, you think, I don't sound like that in real life, do I? Is my lisp really that bad?
I've not noticed that. No, it's in my, like in my head. Yeah, my head, I sound like, I don't know, like Brian Cox or somebody classy. I sound like Billy Connolly, and a particularly.
Nothing wrong with Billy Connolly.
No, it's wonderful, but Billy Connolly with less good material. It's I'll take it. Yeah. But yes, so yeah, I love the podcast. Podcast's great. So I'm just happy that people want to come on. I'll interview anybody. In fact, do you want to come on next week, Katherine?
Absolutely. There we go.
Yeah, pencil you in.
Do I get paid? Have I got a commission?
Nobody gets paid. Nobody gets paid.
It's just a hobby.
Also, essentially you're asking performers to sit with you for an hour and a half or so and talk about themselves. Most of them are pretty up for it. Certainly at the moment when they've got fewer people to talk to.
Exactly. This is the perfect time, really, isn't it? And also it's something for you to keep doing as well, and each week think about and stuff like that.
It keeps me off the streets, Katherine. It does. It could be dark times if I was let loose.
You'd be in that coffee shop with that dark quote on there. Your cup of coffee. Here we are again.
When's Katherine get here?
Fourth day this week. Right, anyway, moving on to round 5, which is our entertainment general knowledge. So, question 1 is, who is the current artistic director of the National Theatre?
I'd like to get him on the podcast.
Oh, absolutely. He'd be a good person. Well, well, then again, we say that, but be interesting to see what he's like in person, wouldn't it?
I've read his interviews. He's always pretty sharp and, interesting. Just ask him why he's never employed me, but that's...
Yeah. Get you on the books. So question number 1, who is the current artistic director of the National Theatre? Question number 2.
Sorry, someone's just asked, original boy books, is it wrong? I've written more than you asked for. No, it's not wrong, but you don't get any extra points. We've covered that. Don't expect extra points. But if you want to waste your time writing
like the full song lyrics.
It's gonna...
That's okay.
They're still going now. Listen to
There's no harm. There's no bonus points, I'm afraid. Just a silent round of applause as we go. All right. So question number 2. In the film Bambi, what is Bambi's first word? So in the film Bambi, what is Bambi's first word? Never seen it.
Never seen it.
I saw it when I was very young, but I wouldn't know the answer to this. Traumatised.
I think I'm too. I don't want to watch it. I think it upset me too much. I know too much.
Another one suited to having a box of tissues just on the side.
They'll play that. They'll play certain scenes from that on a loop in that cafe at midnight.
Yeah.
I think it's £1 million idea, Katherine. I think we should, seriously, it's what Yeovil needs.
Absolutely. Definitely. Number 3. Who is the lead choreographer of the dance company Motion House? So who is the lead choreographer of the dance company Motion House? Quite a tricky question. Motion House come to us quite often, actually.
Yeah.
They're due to come and visit the Octagon next March, I believe, and they're also involved with our Move to Improve project. A sly little plug there from me.
Love it. Well done, well done.
That's our dance development project that we've been working on and funding from the Arts Council for. So there we go.
And can those things happen back in the room again? Can this project, can you get people back together yet to do that?
So yeah, dance studios are opening from 25th of July, aren't they? Yeah. So we can look to have dance
socially distanced
classes and socially distanced classes then again, which we will look to do. And yeah, this project is mainly about audience development. So Motion House coming and how they're scheduled to do outdoor performances, which is now going to happen next year instead, and that will happen around South Somerset, so that's quite cool. And they've got various outdoor dance productions that they do, and they've got one which happens on a digger, a big excavator, and the 2 dancers like hanging off of this bucket, and it is absolutely incredible. I'm
there's Angie online. Angie said here, Angie Golding said, Motion House are amazing, never seen anything like it. I'll have to Google that. I'll have to check that out on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good company, and they react really well with lighting as well in there and form that into their dance as well. So yeah, very good.
Totally.
Right, so number 4. Old Man River is a song composed in 1927 for which musical? So number 4, Old Man River is a song composed in 1927 for which musical? We've got a shout out to the famous 5 here in the comments. That's my group of best mates. And I should also add a shout out to my friend Lucy, part of that group. She's just got engaged, and I'm going to be one of her bridesmaids, along with the other famous 4.
Oh gosh, a train of bridesmaids. Congratulations, absolutely. Lucy, congratulations.
Who's the lucky fella? Be wild. Oh. Christy, his name is. He's from Birmingham as well.
Oh, no, it's Christy, mate. Is that, hang on, Was it Lucy that told me not to do the bad Brummie, was it?
I don't think so, actually. But...
Oh, right, okay. Well, congratulations.
Exactly. There we go.
And have you got a crazy hen night planned? Have you?
Oh, absolutely. The wedding, I don't think it's till April 2022, so we've got plenty of time to plan that one.
Well, just you could do loads. You could just do loads of hen nights.
Well, exactly. We're planning on one in Neo in Yeovil. Once it reopens.
Still never been.
Gordon.
Never been.
When you come down at Christmas, we'll get you in there.
Oh,
it will change your perspective on life. It really will.
Yeah, so I've heard. It changes Tom Bradford. Certainly does that. He's a big fan.
True. Big fan. It's notorious. Right, so question number 5. Who was the first celebrity to win Strictly Come Dancing when it first aired in 2004? So, who was the first celebrity to win Strictly Come Dancing in 2004?
Yes, Sarah, I've heard that Sarah's just said that I won't get out. I'll stick to the floor if I go to Neo. Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard.
It's very true.
Yeah, that's not really my scene, Sarah.
I think your cravat will fit in very well.
I think I'd go down a treat. I think I'd love it. But
people won't know what's hit them.
But it's massive, isn't it? It's like a huge barn of a place.
That's it. It used to be an old cinema, so the ceilings are huge, and the room itself is absolutely massive. So it always looks partially empty, or maybe it is just partially empty.
No, I will. I'll brave it one night. But not when I've got not when I've got a show the next day. I've got to look after the old throats,
Singing along to all those Britney Spears classics.
Very much my thing.
So, question number 6: Which artist originally sung the song "Purple Rain"?
This, however, is my thing. This artist is my favourite ever.
I don't expect you'll hear this at Neo.
Well, no. But you might hear this in that cafe again after they've played those scenes from Bambi. This would probably come on. We
like in that Love Actually film with forget the actress's name, where is she playing Josie Mitchell? Is that right?
Jodie Mitchell. The best scene in that movie. Yeah. Emma Thompson. Oh.
Emma Thompson, that's it.
Oh, it's the best scene in that. It's great. She's wonderful.
Angie Goulding is asking if we can have the whole roundabout Strictly. Maybe. Our last quiz is in 2 weeks' time, and we're going to do a best of. So, get your requests in, Angie. And also listen to Gordon's podcast about Kevin Clifton.
Kevin Clifton, lovely man, just exactly as you would hope he would be. He was smashing.
Right, so that's number 6 again. Which artist originally sung the song Purple Rain? Number 7.
Sarah's never forgiven Alan Rickman for cheating on Emma Thompson. Oh, I know. I know, Sarah. Rotter.
Heartbreaking.
She wanted that necklace.
Someone's also said, but Rowan Atkinson with the gift wrap. Oh, best scene.
Okay. Oh, yes, that's in there when he's trying to get the present wrapped. Yeah.
So, number 7, name the third member of the best-known Destiny's Child lineup with Beyonce Knowles, Michelle Williams, and...
Lizzie Francis. Oh, sorry, I got it away.
One day, Lizzie.
She'd give it a go.
She absolutely would.
She could keep up with those girls, no question.
You put Beyonce to shame.
Oh.
So name the third member of the best-known Destiny's Child lineup with Beyonce Knowles, Michelle Williams, and
Oh, number 8.
The number 8 is Springtime for Hitler is a fictional musical from which film by Mel Brooks? That's Springtime for Hitler is a fictional musical from which film by Mel Brooks?
Which film and stage show?
Mm-hmm.
One of the funniest evenings I've ever spent in a theatre in my saw it twice. 2 of the funniest evenings I've ever spent in a theatre. I thought they were going to have to carry me out.
I've not seen this one before.
Honestly, that the original movie is genius and hysterical, and the show too was just so funny. Honestly, I thought I would never recover. There's a particular moment in it where, people talk about something stopping the show. This pretty much stopped the show. It was a gag. It wasn't even a big number. It was just one moment, and I thought they were going to have to remove me. A man fell off a couch. That's all that happened. But he did it twice. It was just so funny.
There we go. Gordon's recommendation there for you.
Oh, yeah.
Terence in the comments is saying he worked on the spots in Weymouth and he loved it. The songs are very funny.
Oh, so funny. So funny.
Number 9. Which of Bob Fosse's musical has music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz and tells of a young prince on his search for meaning and significance? If you haven't seen the series about Bob Fosse on BBC iPlayer, watch it. So good. With Michelle Williams and not Michelle Williams. Is it Michelle Williams? Yeah, Michelle Williams. Yeah.
And Sam Rockwell. No, I've not watched it. I heard it's fantastic.
Really good. Yeah. It delves into his life in a really nice way, but also sort of, recreates what he's famous for and his choreography as well. Very good. Yeah, no, he changed. I mean, he changed. He really changed choreography. For a lot of people, an awful lot of people. And most dancers and choreographers that I am aware of are, have been influenced and love Bob Fosse's work. Yeah, absolutely. Someone else in the comments is saying she watched it, or they watched it, and binge watched it and was hooked. So was I. The Fosse, right? Okay. Well, I'll check it out because I've not got anything just now. Yeah, watch that, Gordon. Yeah. There you go. My recommendation there. Well, I'll take that. It's one of those I meant to, and it just. And then there's so much telly, isn't there? There's so much telly. Absolutely. So I'll go back and check that out. Thank you. So number 9 again is which of Bob Fosse's musicals has music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz and tells of a young prince on his search for meaning and significance? And number 10, The Last Judgment is a famous drawing created by which artist? The Last Judgment is a famous drawing created by which artist? And wow, suddenly we've gone. There we go. That took a turn. Yeah. Lovely. The tie-break question next. Gordon, do you want to read the tie-break question out? Okay, yes, here we go. So here's the tie-break question. Okay. So if you added the maximum seating capacity of all 39 West End theatres and the Octagon Theatre in Yeovil together, how many people could you seat at once? Now, this is not during times of social distancing. We mean, assuming all that's passed, we can all sit next to each other and we've got full houses across the theatres. This is pretending we were back in January 2020 when coronavirus was barely spoken about. That little thing that's happening somewhere else. Exactly. If only we knew. If you added the maximum seating capacity of all 39 West End theatres and the Octagon Theatre in Yeovil together, how many people could you seat at once? It's a lot of seats. Okay, here we go. There we go. So yeah, just fill in those. We'll give you a couple of minutes to, complete your answer forms and submit them to us, and then we will read out the answers and put you all out of your misery.
Well, we've given you some answers because I'm rubbish at this. Like Ron Burgundy, it says it on the page, I will say it. If it's written down, I will say it. It was bound to happen to me again.
There we go. It happens to the best of us, Gordon, don't worry.
Good. Get quiz Tourette's.
Quiz Tourette's.
Next time I do this, don't send me the answers. Then I could play as well.
Yeah. We can see how well you do. Oh, fantastic. So, been up to anything exciting these past couple of weeks? Anything in lockdown?
No, I've been just chilling with the family and can I say podcasting a lot of that. We've got some things we might be doing with the family in the future, so we're kind of putting those plans together. No, I've been feeling quite quiet, really.
Yeah.
Look, it's been nice that all these things are easing. I went out the other day and met some friends, which was lovely. And you felt, going into the centre of London, feeling a little bit edgy about it, Had a couple of voiceovers, which I did, again, in the centre of town. So that was good. But no, I've been just looking forward to everything, just hopefully getting back to, some kind of normality, a new normal, I suppose they keep talking about. And, keeping my fingers crossed for, theatres being able to open and, everybody's waiting to hear about Panto going ahead. We're all keeping our fingers tightly crossed for that. So no, that's it. What about you? What have you been doing? Busy working probably? Because you have
busy getting Westlands up and running, to be honest with you. But now that is up and running, that's great. And
sit back, drink some coffee.
Sit back. Yeah. But now it's getting the dance studio over at the Octagon up and running. So, right. Work is a constant, ongoing. And then obviously we're looking forward to hearing, more about the roadmap from the government and on this, whereabouts this £1.57 billion will be going to and how that can help support the theatre and the venue. So fingers crossed on that one.
Fingers crossed, good. No, things are a bit, that is a bit more positive than it was looking since the last time I did the quiz. And it's great, that there's something being done. So let's just hope it does some good,
Yeah, 100%, exactly. So what are you most looking forward to when we can open up theatres again? What would be like that first show that you go back and see?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. I'd like to think that one of the first things I try and go and see is something, isn't one of the great big shows. No offence, but it's something smaller, something perhaps that some friends or some colleagues are putting together, some of the smaller companies that I've worked with over the years, to go and support them, try and get that happening. But just to have the opportunity to choose to go and see something, that's what I'm looking forward to. And to know that things are starting to get, things are starting to work again, people are starting to work again, we're all starting to have something to do, because it's been hard for a lot of people. I've been pretty fortunate. I've because of the other job I do, I managed to get furloughed for a while from the other job I do. So I've been in pretty good, really pretty good shape. But I've got lots of friends and colleagues, actors, technicians, front of house, people who are theatre makers and work backstage, production crew, etc., who are going through a dreadfully, dreadfully difficult time. So just to see them being able to just see the shoots that people can start to get back to work and earn and feed their family a bit more easily and all of those things, that's what I'm looking forward to. So it was great. I see that today that Regent's Park have come out giving the news that Open air theatres can start, can start working. Although they gave them they told them on a Thursday that they could open on Saturday. You go, well, you can't put a show on
in that sort of time frame.
36 hours, Yeah. But see, they're going to do their opening. They're going to do a socially distanced relaunch again of their production of Jesus Christ Superstar, which I saw, which is phenomenal. And there's another couple of open air theatres that I know of who are now working all hands on the deck to try and be able to put something on so that they've not lost their entire summer.
Because ultimately they can't operate in the winter time, so that's
it, But
that's their season.
What I would urge anybody listening, I know the people who are on here listening are theatre fans and like it, but if you see these things happening, please support them. Please go and see them, even if it's not maybe something you would usually fancy. Go. You might be blown away by something new. But even more importantly than you having a wonderful time, even if it's rubbish, go and support it and get this industry happening again, because it's the difference in so many ways. It's not just about entertaining people. It's the good theatre does in so many ways, for the economy, culturally, intellect, educationally, all of that stuff. And if we lose it, I don't know how you get it back to where it is, So yes, that's my plea. Every day, if you see stuff happening, go and see it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Check it out. And even if it's just like we say, come into the venue and watching a theatre production, on the screen, that's something, and it's a contribution, and it's keeping that magic of theatre alive.
Yeah. I'm sure we're preaching to the converted here. The people that are doing the quiz, I'm sure, are all very much involved in that. But tell your friends, drag your friends. Don't sit close to them,
but bring them along.
But make sure they come.
Wave across the way to them.
It's good, this bit.
Anyway, should we crack on with the answers?
Go on then.
So the first round was picture round. So you should have had those all a couple of minutes before the quiz started. Gordon, should we take it in turns to read out the answers for these ones?
Let's do that, yep.
Okay,
so the number one is a place that I imagine we'll be able to start showing some things soonish, is the Minack Theatre down in Cornwall. The Minack.
Yeah. Somewhere I've wanted to go for a long, long time, actually.
Yeah, I've never been down. I would love to. Yeah, that'd be a perfect example of. That'd be a place to go and see. That'd be a place to go and see your first show since lockdown.
Exactly, and the sea's looking particularly blue in that picture, so even more enticing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So number 2 was the National Theatre in London. Lovely concrete-looking building, but fantastic productions that come out of there.
Yeah, such a great place. So number 3. Another one which this is somewhere else. Well, is the Odeon of Herodes Atticus, which is.
I'm glad you had that one to say. There we go. That little tongue twister there.
The Odeon of Herodes Atticus, and where is that? Somewhere in Greece.
Greece, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So number 4 is the Rep in Birmingham, and we will. You can see Rep in the picture if you had very good eyesight. So we are only accepting Rep Birmingham or the Repertory Theatre in Birmingham. There we go.
Number 5 is the wonderful Royal Albert Hall in London. Great place.
Looking particularly stunning there in that photo as well.
I had tickets to go and see. That's one of the things that get cancelled. I had tickets to go and see Martin Short and Steve Martin do their show there. It was like 2 weeks after lockdown. It was meant to be. So I think I'm going next year. Well,
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed.
That all goes ahead. So number 6 is Sydney Opera House in Australia.
Fascinating fact. Wait for this. Of all of these theatres, that's the only one that I've performed.
Oh, really?
Yes. I've never played the Globe or. So that's next answer. Sorry. No, that's the only one of the ones that are here. Is the only one. Yeah, is the Sydney Opera House.
And how come you found yourself in Sydney Opera House, Gordon?
I took a production of, which I mentioned earlier on, Stickman, which the kids show Stickman, and we did the show over Christmas in Edinburgh. I did it 2 years in a row in Edinburgh and then a year in the West End. But one of the productions we took to Sydney and did it at the Opera House for 3 weeks. So that was the best job ever, because you do 2 shows a day. The show was 55 minutes long. You do 2 shows every day, but you were finished by about 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And then you were free to do what you liked, and you were doing what you liked in Sydney. It was magic.
I am so jealous of that position you have, because that sounds amazing. That's like a dream, isn't it? There we go. Tour the world.
And going in the morning, get in, and that's, you'd walk past, you'd walk into the theatre and you think, that's my work. That's where I work.
Yeah.
One of those wee special moments, Great.
There we go. So number seven.
Number seven, I mentioned
Shakespeare's Globe, yeah.
Shakespeare's Globe, not just any old Globe, Shakespeare's Globe. Again, if you get the chance, if you haven't seen anything at the Globe, go and see stuff at the Globe when it reopens. That's an experience and a half. It's great. Great night. I've been to a few midnight matinees there. They're fairly rowdy. It's great.
Oh, right. And I think it's just open during the day anyway. It's just a tourist sort of venue, isn't it? So you can just go and have a look around.
You have a look around, but if you can get to see a show, book tickets for a show when it reopens, you really, really must. You really must. It's see Shakespeare the way it was originally intended.
So number 8 is the Millennium Centre in Wales.
And after that,
been there, I'm afraid.
No, well, I've toured to Cardiff a few times. I've only ever played the new theatre. I've never been in there, but it's apparently just a wonderful place to see a show. Great. So that was number 8. Number 9 is Grauman's Chinese Theatre, which is on Hollywood Boulevard. I drove past that. Yeah.
Ah, there we go.
I just drove past it. Didn't stop.
Just keep going.
Whistle stop to it. Where's the bar?
And number 10 is the Royal Opera House. So there we are. That's your picture round. Let us know how you've got on in the comments.
Okay. Oh, I've lost the comments. Sorry. So we're going into round 2 now. Should we crack on?
Yeah, let's crack on.
Okay. So, number 1, which British playwright wrote Metamorphosis? Which playwright made Catherine pretend to be a beetle? And that was Stephen Berkoff.
Great play, from what I remember.
Great play, and fascinating and slightly scary man.
Yeah.
Absolutely petrified. Absolutely terrified of him. Absolutely terrified of him. I was swore an awful lot. Lots of swearing. Lots and lots of swearing.
Very intense man. But clever nonetheless. There we go.
Yeah.
So number 2, which playwright wrote The Importance of Being Earnest? That was, of course, Oscar Wilde.
Mm-hmm.
In a handbag. Absolutely classic.
It's a lovely production. I think, who was it? Was it Judi Dench? So there's that famous line, a handbag, and how she delivered it was rather than go, handbag, she went silent. Apparently fantastic. Number 3, which playwright wrote A Raisin in the Sun? And that was Lorraine Hansberry. Again, I don't know if that's a play. There is a musical of it. I know that. I don't know if there's a play of it as well, but I've never seen it. But it's been done in America quite a few times. But I don't know it.
Number 4 is which playwright wrote Cleansed? And that was Sarah Kane. So she wrote things like Blasted as well. Yeah.
Not for the faint-hearted, Sarah Kane shows.
No.
Which playwright wrote Pygmalion, which, as we told you, was the original version of what became My Fair Lady? It was written by George Bernard Shaw.
There we go.
But he didn't write the songs.
He didn't write the songs.
Didn't write the songs. Couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, George.
Bless him. Right. Number 6. Which playwright wrote Angels in America? And that was Tony Kushner.
Again, I think that one will be on. I think that's going to be on the NT Live. If you get a chance to see that, check it out. Number 7, which playwright wrote Cat on a Hot Tin Roof? That was Tennessee Williams.
Very good playwright.
Where I go for my inspiration for my dream. There
we are. Check it out, boys and girls. Dick Whittington this year, hopefully. So number 8 was which playwright wrote A Very Expensive Poison? And that was Lucy Preble. There we go, Lucy Preble. And I'm pretty sure that was last year, perhaps, or the year before in the Old Vic in London, and got very good reviews.
What else did she write? She wrote something else that was pretty big in the last few years. Well, I can't think what it was. It was something like, it wasn't Enron, but it was one of those kind of.
Yes, that's it. I can't think of the name of it, but it was.
Yeah.
Like that. Yes. Tell us in the comments if you know.
Yes,
there we go.
And number 10. Number 9. Sorry, my mistake. Which playwright wrote Top Girls? And that was Carol Churchill. Top Girls.
And which playwright wrote Mother Courage and Her Children, which is an extremely long production? That is Bertolt Brecht, who, of course, broke the fourth wall.
Broke the fourth wall. Sorry, you've been excellent at the panto.
He would have been.
Fantastic at the panto.
Definitely his cup of tea.
And funny enough, Mother Courage I think there's been several productions where it actually has been played by, Mother Courage has been played by a guy, similarly to. Oh yeah, I mean it's not just fluff in this quiz.
There you go. I'm pretty sure it comes after. Is it centered around the 100-Year War? I've got a feeling.
You did
if
your
memory serves me
drama
correctly,
more recently than I did drama, so yeah, sounds good.
But then I've never been good at quizzes, and that's why I'm hosting them, Gordon. So there we go.
Well, you've set some good questions.
Right, let's take it away with number 3. Lisa's got 10 out of 10 for the first 2 rounds. So well done, Lisa. And original boy books, they think they've done well for the first 2 rounds. So let us know how you're getting on.
Most right in 2 rounds. Okay, so round 3 is famous quotes. Now, number 1, feed me, Seymour. Feed me all night long. And that is from Little Shop of Horrors. My son's favourite. Does that make me a bad parent? That's like his favourite?
Absolutely not. No.
A man-eating, bloodthirsty plant that he often likes to pretend to be. What does that say about my family?
It'll only get him into gardening. You can only hope.
Gardening and singing soul songs. It can't be bad, can it?
There we go. Right, number 2. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep. That is Prospero in The Tempest. So again, no bonus points for the character who spoke the lines. Only our respect, shall we say.
The silent clap that we mentioned earlier on.
There we go.
Okay, number 3. In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. That, of course, comes from Mary Poppins.
And I wonder who spoke the line, Gordon?
I believe it was probably Mary Poppins.
There we go. Wouldn't have guessed that.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
So, number 4, again, is to be or not to be. That is the question. And that was, of course, Hamlet in Shakespeare's Hamlet.
Not to be confused with somebody else's Hamlet.
Yeah. The People's Hamlet.
The People's Hamlet. That's the production I intend to stage. Number 5. I didn't know this, but number 5 is most everyone's mad here. And that was spoken by the Cheshire Cat in Alice in Wonderland. So well done if you got that. I didn't get that.
Number 6 is, it takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to your enemies, but a great deal more to stand up to your friends. And that was Dumbledore in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. There we go.
Yeah, if you didn't get Sorcerer's Stone, did he get half a point? Are we going to get into that?
Depends how generous our producer Kat is feeling, I'm afraid.
Right. Think on, folks. Think on. It's not our choice. Not our choice. Okay, where do we get to? That was a Harry Potter.
Number 7. Yes.
If you focus on what you left behind, you will never see what lies ahead. And that is from Ratatouille. And it's spoken by Gusteau, which is the ghostly chef, no? See Gusteau? Oh, I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I'd never seen that. That's so good. Such fun. I only watched that like 3 weeks ago. I thought it was great.
Yeah, very good movie, that. There we go. Right. Number 8. Oh, you say number 8, Gordon.
No. I've done it a couple of times, and I think I've demonstrated on how it has to be said. So, Katherine, I'd like to hear your attempt at the classic line.
Okay, let me prepare.
Just give it a second, folks. Yeah, let's go quiet. Take a space.
You can't handle the truth.
Good. I mean, I felt it. That
was from A Few Good Men and was spoken by Jessup. I think I'm saying that correctly.
Yes.
So there we go. Right, over to you, Gordon.
One of my favourite plays. A small man can be just as exhausted as a great man. And that is spoken by Linda Lohman in Death of a Salesman. And if you don't know that play and you ever get a chance to see it, watch it. It's just perfect. Just a great show.
Yeah, Willie Loman stills your heart.
Just heartbreaking, but wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, the film version has Dustin Hoffman in it, and I think when he played it in the film, he was something like, he was younger than I. He was like 40, and Willie's meant to be retiring. You know, he's meant to be late 60s or whatever. I think John Malkovich plays his son in it. I think they were the same age. It's one of those things where they were the same age, roughly. But he's wonderful. He's great. He's great.
They do an incredible job of embodying those characters as well, don't they? So.
Oh, it's terrific. It's terrific. It's such a but it's it's you're given it's that thing, you're given gold to say. You know, it's the characters are so well written, so well rounded, and so real. Aye, great, just tremendous.
So number 10, our coffee shop.
Well, we're going to get badges and T-shirts made.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just you and I. Yeah.
Was, I don't understand why I'm not dead. When your heart breaks, you should die. And that was Harper in Angels in America. It's another Angels in America question.
Yeah, but don't let that put you off watching it.
No. Yeah, very moving themes and topics. Goes into sort of the AIDS epidemic, doesn't it? And
spans like a generation. I think it's a story that's told over a long period. Yeah, I think also there was a TV film made for HBO. I think with Al Pacino and Emma Thompson.
Okay, yeah, I'm not aware of that one.
I think I'm right in saying. Round 4, here we go, missing lyrics. And Catherine's going to sing all of them for us. No? Okay.
In your dreams.
In my dreams. Speaking of dreams, there's that for a segue. Number 1, I gave you the answer. Number 1, I dreamed the dream of time gone by when hope was high and life worth living. And that is from Les Mis. I dreamed the dream from Les Mis.
There you go. And if you didn't get that one right, then you weren't listening carefully enough.
That's it.
Right. So
you've just let yourself down. Is what's happened there. The way I did, but I'm just putting it back onto you. Let yourself down.
So number 2, think of me fondly when we've said goodbye. And that's think of me from Phantom of the Opera?
Number 3, and I expect all of you to join in with these words. Here we go. So, when you know the notes to sing all together now, you can sing most anything.
Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And that's Do Re Mi. Or is it Do? I thought it was called Do. I thought it was called Do, dear. From The Sound of Music, of course.
Yeah, brilliant. So, number 4, a crash of drums, a flash of light, my golden coat flew out of sight. And that is Joseph from Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
And as we used to sing them too, a crash of drums, a flash of light, my hangover's bad, I was out last night. And it used to be quite sore, that show, and a hangover, which there often was a hangover on that too, I'll tell you that.
Very interesting, though, that you played, obviously, the baker and not the candlestick maker.
Not the candlestick. But the thing was, with the baker, I got the job, and I'm a big fella anyway, but I was younger then and bigger, but still I wasn't big. I got the job. It's a guy. I got the job second hand. They'd offered it to a guy, and he had to pull out for some reason, so I had auditioned for it, and they offered it to me. The problem was I wasn't quite fat enough for them, so they had to pad me.
Pad you. So flattering.
Well, do you know what? I felt great.
Yeah, I bet you did.
You know, it's the first time I was playing, even though I was still playing the fat guy, which I usually played, but they had to, I wasn't fat enough. It's great. It's an excuse to drink even more beer. Eat all the more pies.
Right, so where are we? Number 5.
Number 5. For after some consideration, we can state, consider yourself one of us. From Oliver. Consider yourself from Oliver.
And we just need to get you in that production, don't we?
I can see myself, the wee raggy trousers and my wee bowl. Where is love? Does it fall? There would be a dry eye in the house. Tear from my glass eye.
Shattered glasses. Everywhere.
Shake.
Number 6 then. So if you
no. This is the one you have to sing.
I told you I haven't seen Wicked.
Oh, you know the song though. Come on.
Go on, Gordon. You do it.
Oh, no chance.
Spoiler.
So if you care to find me, look to the western sky. As someone told me lately, everyone deserves the chance to fly.
Fabulous.
That's Defying Gravity from Wicked. I think that's the tune. Well, nobody else thinks that's the tune, but I think that's the tune.
It is now.
It is now.
So number 7. Do you want to do this one as well?
I don't.
Take it away.
Well, I don't actually know. I don't know the song. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. And that's Father's Son from, not My Father's Son, sorry, from Kinky Boots, which was a huge hit in the West End for a few years.
Huge. And also came to Westlands in our cinema last weekend. So there we go. So number 8. The world's going to know your name. What's your name, man?
Alexander Hamilton.
There we are.
It's good. That. And have you watched? Did you see? You saw it?
Absolutely amazing production. That so it's just been put on Disney Plus. Fantastic.
I knew I'd like it, but I was perfectly willing to be underwhelmed because there'd been so much hype. And I thought, do you know what? Quite a feat to have put that thing together. Just for that to even be a show.
A huge production, and all of those actresses and actors did so well.
But what's fascinating about it, if you compare it to a lot of the big musicals, it's not relying on masses of automation and special effect, big, production values. It's got incredible production values. The lighting's incredible, obviously the sound. But just telling that story the way they did, it's well worth a watch. Check it. If you've got Disney Plus, check it out and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the soundtrack will get stuck in your head, so you might as well download the soundtrack at the same time while you're there.
This one, number 9. Good morning, Baltimore. Every day is like an open door. From Hairspray, from Good Morning Baltimore from Hairspray. There's a song in this show, the big, and then now I'm going to forget, the motion in the ocean and the sun in the sky. You can't stop the beat. It makes me cry. There's an admission, because it just gives me such goosebumps. It makes me cry because it is so euphoric. If you don't know the song, check it. If you don't know the show, try and watch. There's a movie of it. Watch it. It's a great show. But the songs in it are just terrific. Really great.
I like that song. I just makes me dance wherever I hear it.
Oh well,
but I've got the opposite reaction. I don't cry.
What does that say about us? No, it's going to be me sitting in that cafe at midnight.
Yeah. There we go. So number 10 is I got chills, they're multiplying, and I'm losing control.
There she is.
And that's all you're getting from me.
I'll take that. That was great.
And that is obviously, you're the one that I want from Greece.
Woo!
Fantastic. Right. On to the general knowledge round then, round 5.
Okay, so number 1. Who is the current artistic director of the National Theatre? And that is a chap called Rufus Norris. Rufus Norris, a wonderful director.
Absolutely. And wouldn't we all just like to be in a room with him? Please, take me to the National.
Take me to the National. He's a job. Any job.
Number 2. In the film Bambi, what is Bambi's first word? It is bird. Just bird.
Lots of people knew, obviously. I didn't know. And I didn't know this. But I am going to check these guys out. Who is the lead choreographer of the dance company Motion House? And that is a chap called Kevin Finnan. I imagine he's pretty special, given what you guys have said about him. The Motion House.
Yeah, really good company. They've put a lot of their work, previous work online. So yeah, for anyone interested, do check that out. Absolutely. So number 4, Old Man River is a song composed in 1927 for which musical? And it is Showboat. I have to,
it might have been written, so you said Showboat, it's been written here. Who wrote that answer? Somebody on my flight, it says South Pacific. Who said that? Who wrote South Pacific?
Might be me on the answer form, but it's okay because we
got it right. Yes,
we got it right.
Showboat, yes.
So the answer is Showboat.
Well done. I wasn't going to let you away with that.
I could see your face when I was reading out the answer, and you're like, right.
That's wrong. Number 5. Who was the first celebrity to win Strictly Come Dancing when it first aired in 2004? Been good 16 years it's been going. The answer is Natasha Kaplinsky and her partner, Brendan Cole.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
I wasn't expecting that.
I'd like his job.
Well, you do voiceover work, Gordon, so maybe that's next in line.
Yeah, I'd love that. I'd love a gig like that, but no, not good. I say, Grumpy Scottish Dwarves, that's my fantasy, dwarves and fantasy games, that's my
that's your outlet.
That's my strength. That's what I do.
So number 6, which artist originally sung the song Purple Rain? And it was Prince.
The greatest ever. The greatest. I've seen him 14 times. Words fail me. My hero. The greatest performer in the history of performing. Big, bold statement, I know, but I can back that up.
There you go. If you head to Neo in Yeovil this Christmas, you may see Gordon there. Should Neo be open?
Giving it my best. Prince, no, I'm not worthy. Okay, so name the third member of of the best-known Destiny's Child lineup of Beyonce Knowles, Michelle Williams, and Kelly Rowland. I didn't realise there were other versions of it. I thought that was Destiny's Child. Was there other?
I think people chopped and changed for a little bit of time, but that's the core group.
Like Sugar Babes.
Yes.
I mean, in that way only. No offence to Sugar Babes.
Yeah. There we go. Blast from the past.
Blast from the past.
No more words for them. Anyway, number eight. Number eight. Springtime for Hitler is a fictional musical from which film by Mel Brooks, film and show, is The Producers.
Just a work of genius. The funniest evening I've ever spent in the theatre.
There you go. You still find you there, laughing away.
Honestly, it was Nathan Lane. One of the questions we always ask we ask everybody on our podcast is, what's the best performance you've ever seen? And a lot of people have said Mark Rylance in Jerusalem, which is mine. I've never seen anything quite like that. But a close second is Nathan Lane in The Producers. The man's a complete genius. Just a comedy. It was the things he did, the simplest things. And I have never laughed as much in my life. As I say, he fell off a couch twice. He fell off a couch that was funny, and he just got back up on the couch and fell off it again. I thought they were going to have to call an ambulance for me. Oh, just genius. Genius. Go see if I can get it into panto. Make me fall off a couch.
Absolutely. We'll get
Twice.
It in there.
Yeah, I'll get it. Number 9, which of Bob Fosse's musicals has music and lyrics by Stephen Schwartz and tells of a young prince on his search for meaning and significance? And that show is Pippin. It's one of those shows that I know of and I've heard of for years and years and years, but I don't know it. I think I maybe know a couple of songs, but I've never seen it.
More famous ones or popular ones from Bob Fosse are sort of like Chicago and things like that. So, but this is one of his less well-known, shall we say, musicals.
I think it's quite a big deal on Broadway. I think Pippin was quite a big deal on Broadway, more so probably than it was over here. I may be wrong, but I know it's a big deal there.
So number 10 is The Last Judgment is a famous drawing created by which artist? And it is Michelangelo. There you go.
Not Banksy.
Not Banksy.
Not Banksy.
Tie-break question then, Gordon.
Go on then.
Leave that for you.
So if we added the maximum seating capacity of all 39 West End theatres and the Octagon Theatre in Yeovil together, how many people could you seat at once? The number is 42,934 seats. There are 42,934 seats. So there you go. It's a lot.
It's a hell of a lot, yeah, absolutely.
A lot of bums on seats, love. A lot of bums on seats.
One day we'll be back to full houses.
Full houses.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope it's soon.
Anyway, so that's the end of our quiz. We've finally got to the end.
I know, me chuntering on. These quizzes are probably twice as long when I do them. I do apologise, everybody.
But we love them equally, though, Gordon. It's like our own miniature podcast with you.
Yeah, trust me.
With a couple of quiz questions thrown in there as well.
Well, my podcast, the guests on my podcasts are much more interesting than I'll ever be. So yeah, check those out.
There we go. Yeah, check out Gordon's podcast, Taking Turns
to Talk. Available from Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever else you get your podcast fun.
And we'll also put the links on our Facebook event as well, so you can follow them that way.
Oh, lovely. Great.
All right, and then hopefully then you can all join us again next week for our quiz. We've got TV and film themed, and that's going to be hosted by Adam Bergen again, our theatre manager. So he'll be back next week to host the quiz. So hopefully you'll be able to join us. And then the week after is our very final online quiz, because come the end of July, we're going to, that's the end of the quizzes from us. Because people are moving on from online now, really. So that's going to be a best of quiz, Gordon.
Oh!
Best of. There we go.
I'll have to see if I'm around for that. I mean,
absolutely.
I may have to watch that one.
Absolutely. May even take part. There we go. So hopefully you can join us again next week. And thank you for joining us and saying hello in the comments, and main thanks go to Gordon, really, for keeping us all entertained for 2 hours. So there we go.
Absolute pleasure. Lovely to be seen by everybody, and I look forward to, fingers crossed, seeing everybody very, very soon in the flesh.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks, Gordon, and thanks everyone for joining us once again. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
folks. Bye. Bye, Catherine.